Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're just on some Black Ops 7 today. I know, yeah, it's a Call of Duty video, obviously, if you even really give a shit. But yeah, welcome back anyways. We're not just here to play Black Ops 7 or anything, because there isn't really much other than maybe, like, the weapon cam... Not the weapon cam... Yeah, actually, the weapon grind, weapon level grind, which I'm gonna be honest, don't think I'm gonna do anymore. We'll see how I feel later on in the year, but we're really here to talk about Modern Warfare 4. We're not just here to play Call of Duty. Before you avert your eyes, before you close the video, I know like your interest is probably already dwindling because it's a Call of Duty video and I'm continuing to yap, but I'm just gonna cut straight to the point, and I want to make this message as clear as possible and just send this message out to as many people as it possibly can if you guys manage to see this. I'm just gonna straight up say, and you can tell by the title of the video, do not pre-order Modern Warfare 4, and I'll explain why. I'll explain all my reasoning. Now, that might be a bold statement, but I'm sure any other creator that's not just a blatant shill for the Call of Duty franchise will tell you the same thing, and that's due to the track record that they created for themselves over the past few years with how they've been handling the franchise ever since Modern Warfare 2019. And to top it all off, it's an Infinity Ward game. I mean, this is not the same Infinity Ward studio that made Modern Warfare 2 way back in the day. That didn't make Ghosts, even though obviously I think Ghosts is where like the big downfall started. That's where a lot of people like make the connection to Call of Duty dipping in quality. That's where I would probably personally put it. And then the big downtrend was with Modern Warfare 2019, and we all know how that game was. A lot of people look fondly back on that game, but it really wasn't as good as people thought it was. I made a whole video talking about it. Modern Warfare 2019, there was a lot of good about it, but none of the good elements came with the gameplay part of it. It was just really the sound design, the visuals, the campaign, one game mode S&D that people talk about the most. Nobody ever really talks about the flow of the other game modes and just how dog shit the maps were. And going to Black Ops Cold War, Black Ops Cold War really wasn't like that bad of a game at all, but on launch, genuinely one of the worst launches ever. I mean, it was breaking PS5s, for crying out loud. Then going into Vanguard, Vanguard was a whole different breed of launch. That was far worse than Black Ops Cold War. It just far outdid it. But that was, you know, a COVID Call of Duty along with Black Ops Cold War. And Modern Warfare 2 wasn't really a COVID Call of Duty, but they still had like a 3-year development time. I'm talking about the 2022 version. And that game, probably the absolute worst Call of Duty game I have ever had the displeasure of playing, and probably the worst Call of Duty game of all time ever made, seriously. And then we go into Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 3 wasn't bad. I think Sledgehammer actually did a really good job with that game. It was just kind of weird that they brought in the OG Modern Warfare 2 maps and didn't really make any original maps for the launch, so it did play odd because of, you know, how much different the movement system was and everything. It was a lot more fast-paced. And then we got Black Ops 6, and Black Ops 6 was good for a month, and then Season 1 dropped, and it was just complete dog water from there. I mean, the Season 1 update broke so many things, and then every season after that just kept getting broken every time they updated the anti-cheat. Providers would find bypasses within like hours. I'm not even kidding. That happened during like I think the Season 3 update, where they actually updated the anti-cheat, and within literal hours providers had workarounds for it. So yeah. And then we come to Black Ops 7. I mean, Black Ops 7 I mean, didn't really miss the mark, because Black Ops 7, I say it all the time, is actually a good game, honestly, except for the campaign. Everything else about it is actually pretty phenomenal. It's just, it came right after Black Ops 6, and, you know, I just explained what happened with Black Ops 6 and the dumpster fire that game was, and how just bad Warzone was last year, too. Now we're going into Modern Warfare 4, and by now I hope a lot of people have learned to not pre-order the game, because when they get a bunch of pre-order sales, they could just do whatever they want at that point, and say whatever they want, and go back on whatever, because they made their bag already. They have their money, they don't really need to, like, do it. And again, it's Infinity Ward. Obviously, there's new leadership now, so the leadership isn't the same as it was, like, a couple years ago with the previous games, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 2019. It's actually pretty refreshing too to see that the current developers and current leads are saying that they made mistakes with previous games. They're actually like admitting their faults, which is like a first for the franchise. And Infinity Ward is touted as having just like the largest egos too, and they make it pretty obvious just based off of like the design decisions that they make with their games. Their refusal to actually listen to community feedback and make changes that the community wants, do things that the community wants. Oh, they've lied about a ton of things as well. Infinity Ward are probably the biggest liars out of all the other studios. But Treyarch is up there too. I mean, if you look back at earlier this year, Treyarch lied about their matchmaking. During the beta, they actually were gonna make the open matchmaking that they did during like the second half of the beta the standard, and then literally 2 days before the launch, they came out with another post and said that a majority of the playlists will feature the open matchmaking, similar to the beta. Similar, not the same. And that's Treyarch too, and Treyarch already has tarnished their reputation completely. I mean, Black Ops 6, flop. Black Ops 7 is not really a flop. I mean, it's a good game, but it's a flop because of what Black Ops 6 did. Well, man, I do have to apologize for Joe Seacott, or to Joe Seacott. Way back during Modern Warfare 2019, if you don't remember at all and you were, you know, a part of the community in any way during that time, He was in an interview talking about, like, I guess the design decisions of a game, just kind of basically explaining why they designed the game the way they did, with the weapons being more lethal, with the maps being more porous, with more, like, I guess, spacey kind of, like, little cubbies for people who aren't that good to hide in. He didn't literally say it like that, but that's, you know, basically what it was and what he was basically what he was saying, just kind of like to sum it down. Like, in his own words, he said that they purposely made the maps, and the design of the maps to be more porous and the guns to be more lethal, so that players who aren't as experienced can have an easier time getting a kill, and so they can feel more comfortable to learn and think, hey, okay, I can do this, and, you know, that'll encourage them to get, like, another kill. That's, like, nearly word for word what he said. Joe Seacott has definitely, like, not had a nice taste in people's mouths ever since that. Come to find out, recently it really wasn't all his fault, because the higher-ups actually made him the guinea pig for doing that, so he had to go and tell the entire community that they designed the game in this way on purpose. So the blame fell on him, so it really wasn't like his decision. It was just he was forced to. But it is still Infinity Ward after all. I mean, they don't exactly have the community in their good graces. Now we're at a point where Treyarch is not in the community's good graces, and honestly I see Infinity Ward actually getting the community back on their side again. And ironically, what they've been putting out, like with their from the Ward videos, and just like the devs actually communicating with the player base, they're showing off all the guns, the sound design, not the guns, but like the sound design. They showed off some gameplay, and it does look pretty solid. The story looks really engaging too, and really cool. I'll always pride Infinity Ward on that, and their ability to tell a story and their ability to just make a game look visually and sound appealing as well is just like on a different level. It's better than every other studio. But let's be real, they honestly haven't really made like a decent Call of Duty since the original Modern Warfare 2 in 2009. I mean, people will go and say that Modern Warfare 2019 was actually really good and one of the best, like a top 5 or top 3. That's just straight up not true. There's no chance. And after the dumpster fire that was Modern Warfare 2, I mean, like it just from there, it was kind of cooked. Like their reputation was in the gutter. It's cool that they're actually being transparent, but that's why I still go and say don't pre-order the game just based off those facts alone, because it is still Infinity Ward, and also us pre-ordering the game just kind of like tells them that, hey, okay, you know, we got our money, we don't really have to like do anything special now. Like, I can give you an example. I could just go back to what I said about Black Ops 7. Right before the game came out, Matt Scrantz, or what was it, Treyarch actually, put out a tweet saying that a majority of the playlists will have the matchmaking feature in the beta, the open matchmaking, not the actual same matchmaking. And that was right after pre-order cancellations weren't available anymore. Literally, you were not able to cancel pre-orders anymore. And then they went ahead and put that out. It was like the day after, actually, and then like a couple days before the game came out. That's got to be the scummiest shit ever. Like, they got their pre-orders and everything, and they were like, okay, we could just reverse what we said about the matchmaking. They had just lie after lie after lie after lie, and Treyarch really just fucked themselves over with that. And obviously, Infinity Ward hasn't really been any better. And here's another thing too. I can bring up another example. During the Modern Warfare 3's life cycle, Modern Warfare 2023, when skill-based matchmaking like white paper came out, or like the blog that they put out on their Call of Duty blog, I guess they actually had like frequently asked questions that they were answering that the community has been asking, I guess, for, you know, the better half of like a couple of years, ever since the skill-based matchmaking era. One of the questions was, would you guys consider having like a opt-in, opt-out system? Like, and what they said was that they wouldn't do anything like that because that would split the player base up too much into, you know, the non-skill-based matchmaking, obviously, and the skill-based matchmaking lobbies, which is what they have currently in Black Ops 7. They have the standard matchmaking, which is the skill-based matchmaking lobbies, and then they have the basic matchmaking where the skill is minimally considered. But I mean, just based off of like pros and just the entire community too, a lot of people within the community say that it is still nothing like what we saw in the beta. Like in the description of, you know, the playlist that you click on, it'll say that the matchmaking is open. It'll say open matchmaking, but it's not really open matchmaking, just based off of like what people, you know, have been experiencing themselves. And I would agree with them too, honestly. It is definitely nothing like what's in the beta, and is nothing like the classic matchmaking that we had in the original Call of Duties and like the golden era. So either that, or either you know, they lied, or the game is just so incredibly dead that it's just all the hardcore players that are still playing Black Ops 7, which I honestly doubt. Moral of the story, Treyarch lied, and they went ahead and pretty much went back on what they said about the Call of Duty blog thing, or what they said on there, because in this game they literally have basically an opt-in, opt-out system. You can either play the skill-based matchmaking lobbies or not. And obviously that splits the player base, but for some reason, a couple years later, they decided to go back on it. So, I mean, what changed? You see what I'm getting at here, though? There's so many inconsistencies with the things that this company likes to say. And obviously, we're at the mercy of the higher-ups, at least like the executives at Activision, because I don't think the developers actually like the direction that the game is going in. I'd like to imagine that they don't actually like it. So just the fact that there's like so many clear and obvious lies that they've been telling to the player base for the past few years, like I just said with the matchmaking thing right now, it's just like, it's just disgusting. It's ridiculous, you know? The current Infinity Ward developers and the new leadership are actively like trying to make things right, it seems. They're trying to get the players back on their good graces, or back in, you know, they're trying to get back in the good graces of the player base. Obviously, it's pretty clear. And I do like what they're doing. Like, everything they're doing genuinely looks really good. I just say have, what do you call it? Be cautiously optimistic. Oh my gosh. But yeah, be cautiously optimistic when looking into more information about this game. I say do not pre-order it. Wait till COD Next, when, you know, they'll inevitably have all the content creators go out and play the game live for everybody to see. And don't pre-order the game just to play the beta early. Wait till like the free open beta comes out for everybody, because then, like I said, they could easily just backtrack on anything that they said once they get their bag up. And the devs have also been saying they're not going to go directly back to the pre-Black Ops 7 matchmaking system, so hopefully they actually keep their word on that, and maybe, just maybe, we will get a true classic no skill-based matchmaking, or minimally considered skill-based matchmaking system. But we'll have to wait and see, because again, it is Infinity Ward. So yeah, I'm gonna remain cautiously optimistic. You guys should also remain cautiously optimistic. I mean, like, every year I obviously look at these games and think, hey, this looks good, this looks good, this looks good. I thought stuff with Black Ops 7 looked good, and then, I mean, the game is still good. I do like the game. It's just nobody else really likes it. I thought stuff with Black Ops 6 looked really good. I was really excited for Omni Movement and the classic Prestige coming back, and the camo grinding and whatnot, and the camo grinding coming to Warzone. And then, you know, we saw how Black Ops 6 ended up being. I was excited about stuff for Modern Warfare 2. I was excited about stuff for Vanguard. I was excited about stuff for Black Ops Cold War. And of course, all those games obviously completely missed the mark. You can be optimistic, you can be hyped, you can be excited for things. Even like the biggest Call of Duty haters can admire some things. But, you know, at the end of the day, you still just gotta remain cautious. And don't just jump headfirst into it, not knowing what to expect when, or not expecting anything, and just expecting it to be the most amazing thing ever, and not expecting to be like disappointed in any way. Because remember, you've been a part of the community for at any point during the last maybe like 10 years, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like I said, Infinity Ward is doing a good job right now. I think the story looks awesome. Price going rogue, it kind of does look like a really interesting story. Teaming up with Valeria, which was one of the she was one of the villains from Modern Warfare 2 in 2022. You got Task Force 141 hunting down Price now because he just went rogue. So the story looks interesting. The multiplayer actually looks really good. The maps don't look all like depressing and groggy and gray like Modern Warfare 2019's map design. Actually look like there's some color and life to them. Pole climbing and everything. It doesn't seem like you could just like climb any skinny like pole-like object. I think there's like designated climbing spots, kind of like if there would be like a ladder. Everything about this game looks pretty solid. You know, we just need to see more actual gameplay. So I guess whenever COD Next comes around, whenever the beta rolls around, which probably will be, I don't really know when COD Next is. I honestly, I forget every time, but the beta will probably be like in August, I imagine, because the game's coming out in October. So either August or September, we'll see. With all that out of the way, I will say again, don't pre-order the game. Wait till, you know, whatever content creator, whatever, you know, creator, influencer, whatever that you actually trust, wait for them to actually play the game more themselves and give their feedback on it. Someone that you actually trust too, someone you know that's not just like a blatant shit. I can name a few, but you know, not gonna name any names. Wait for other people to get their hands on it. Wait for more opinions to actually come out about it. Wait to see actual gameplay, and wait to get your hands on it yourself with like the free open beta. Don't just like pre-order. And if you do and you don't like it, just cancel your pre-order as soon as possible, because pre-order cancellations, there's a cutoff date. There was a cutoff date last year. Cautiously optimistic once again. I know I sound like a broken record, but yeah, just be that. Okay, yeah, but anymore. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Hopefully you guys did enjoy watching, and hopefully you got some useful information out of this, maybe some insight for the future, so you don't just go and make a uninformed decision when it comes to this. Just get more information, make your own opinions, and yeah, just be just be cautious. Once again, have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.